Let's talk.
The D23 Extravaganza. Hall H who?
Yeah, forget Hall A. Okay, not to veer off a little bit off topic, but Hall H can only fit 6,000 people. D23 was at the Honda Center in
Anaheim.
Anaheim, and I think that fits like, I don't know, 70, 100K.
Yeah,
And it was almost packed.
And they made, I mean, just look at the image behind us. They made use of that extra space.
Oh yeah,
Look at those screens,
those
man. Like,
huge.
it looked like a rock show.
So anyway, so here's the thing. Disney put out a list of all the movies that they're going to come out. So just to do a little runoff of what's coming out, right? We got from the Walt Disney Studios, we have Moana 2, Mufasa the Lion King, Tron Ares, Zootopia 2,
Yay!
and Freakier Friday. Yeah. And Frozen 3, but that's not slated until 2026.
And we know that's going to be another $1 billion movie.
Right. Now, 20th Century Fox has Avatar Fire and Ash coming out.
Yay.
Yeah. Pixar Animations is coming out with Toy Story 5 along with Incredibles 3.
What?
Exactly.
What?
That's a big grim. That's a big grim thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So we also have Lucasfilms with the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, Star Wars stuff.
Can't wait. First movie in 5 years or longer than that.
Yeah, right. It's about time.
Since the pre-pandemic.
Exactly. And then you also have from Marvel Studios 2 movies that are coming out. You got Captain America: Brave New World and Fantastic Four.
Yep. And I do believe they showed a little something with Thunderbolts too. I believe some sort of footage came out of that, but it was very.
I think that was more whole age.
Not public. No, that there was some footage of what's her name, Florence Pugh. Like,
was there
a very short clip? It wasn't a teaser.
I didn't see that.
But they made a very short mention of Thunderbolts too.
Okay, so guys, I have a question. Johnny, out of all these movies that are coming out, what sticks out to you?
So, I mean, Incredibles 3 was a huge shock, in my opinion, because the second movie, Incredibles 2, just I saw it in theaters when it came out, and it just didn't hit the mark for me, and I don't believe it hit the mark for a lot of people, for fans of The Incredibles. The first movie is obviously a huge classic, but after the fall of the second movie, I was just like, that's probably it from them. But they're kicking it into high gear again with the Incredibles 3. I hope this time though that it's something that takes place like a little bit further into the future of the story and not like directly after the first movie. Like have everybody be a little bit older.
Right.
Let's see like something develop and give us something that we really haven't seen before. Because I think that was the problem with the second movie, is that it was a lot of not like rehashing, but just things that weren't too interesting.
Right. But they also did it. What was it?
Like the big theme was that they switched the roles of the wife and the
right, and it was only
Mr.
a very small time in between the first movie and the second movie.
Right. It was right after.
So if the third movie comes out, let's say 10 years later, that would give it a different dynamic, sort of like Inside Out 2, where you had
make Mr. Incredible a grandpa.
Well, like, I don't know. That's too much.
See how he I'm
maybe
serious.
Incredible 4.
See how Mr. and Mrs. Incredible handle being grandparents.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be about it.
All right, Pancakes. Did you see Incredibles 1 and 2?
Maybe parts of the first one, but
you're missing out. You're missing out.
Watch it in full. It's one of the best Pixar movies out there.
But if you want to talk true Pixar legacy, Toy Story. I mean, how many endings is this franchise gonna get? But yet, I like the concept of toys versus technology. It's a way to connect our generation that loved the original movies from back in the day to modern day,
the
like
Despicable Me iPad kids,
and the kids, the kids are linked to the iPad, to the screen instead of physical toys. So it's going to be interesting how the toys struggle with that battle. But again, I just hope it's better than Toy Story 4, which was the weakest in the series.
Yeah,
like Toy Story 3 was the perfect send off to end it, but it's Disney, it's Pixar. Of course, they want to milk you for everything it wants, but of course I want to see it because it's Toy Story. Is it confirmed that Tim Allen and Tom
They have to come back.
and Tom Hanks are
They
coming.
have to come back. If
They
they don't
didn't
come back,
discuss that.
if they don't come back, it's gonna be a huge eyesore or ear sore in the movie.
Because there's no way Chris Evans is gonna voice Buzz Lightyear.
No, but Chris Evans was a younger Buzz Lightyear. This is
Yeah.
supposed to be the current Buzz Lightyear.
Well, here's the
So-
thing, guys. The movie doesn't come out until 2020, June 19,
So it's just
2026. So,
so
we got 2 years.
so it's just an announcement that the movie's in production.
No. It's yeah, I guess so. But see, here's the thing. When they stated Toy Story 5, they gave it a release date of June 19, 2026. While as for Incredibles 3, all they said was in production. I mean, yeah, in production. So there's no date, there's no nothing. So that means that Toy Story 5 is probably further progressed in production than
I bet you
Incredibles
Incredibles
3.
would be a holiday 2026. I think it could definitely come out the same year. I would
yeah.
totally see it as a November
Summer-
release.
Summertime or holiday time would be a good time to release
Yeah.
that.
Toy Story would come out in the summer, while Incredibles 3
It would be
come out
that
in-
would be a huge year for
winter.
Pixar.
Yeah.
I don't think Bob Iger would want to let that go.
I agree.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So you picked Incredibles 3, right? And you picked Toy Story. Now the one that I want to talk about that made me go like Scooby-Doo was Freakier Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis coming back along with Lindsay Lohan. I just have a question. Who in the bloody hell thought that this was going to be a great idea? This is a movie that came out, 20 years ago? And I don't understand why people thought, oh, let's wait until Lindsay Lohan is 40 and Jamie Lee Curtis is like, what is she now?
65.
65 years old. Let's just do a movie now and see what happens. I don't know. I think this one's going to be a bust.
The only thing I could say is that this is going to be. It most likely will be because it's a nostalgia movie, right? It's banking everything on like, hey, remember the original movie? How much you liked it in high school or whatever. This is going to be like Lindsay Lohan's comeback movie because I think she's been slowly setting herself up to come back into the spotlight.
Yeah.
She's cleaned herself up a bit, and I mean, she looks good and everything. She seems happy. She has a kid now. I think she wants to maybe step a foot back into like an acting role that will be like she'll get positive reception for it just because of what it is. So I think at most it's going to be treated like that. I don't think this is going to be breaking any records. I'm not even expecting to like this movie when it comes out, but
It's a nostalgia act that it's just cashing in on.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, technically, I could say the same thing. We could say the same thing with the excitement of seeing Toy Story and Incredibles sequels, but at the same time, I never cared for the first or saw the first movie. So it's
You've never seen the first movie? Oh, you're missing out.
Oh,
buddy.
come on, man.
That was like
That
peak
and
Lindsay
Mean
Lohan.
Girls, like that, yeah.
It was peak.
The
Well,
car movie Herbie, whatever it was called.
Yeah, Herbie.
Mhm.
the best movie she ever did was Parent Trap.
That was a
He
classic
was like
too.
8 in
I
that
know.
movie.
That was a childhood classic too. I'm not gonna pan that, but yeah, no, that like Freaky Friday and Mean Girls, like that was like the peak of her career.
Yeah.
I would say for
Yeah.
sure. That was when she was a household.
I
thing.
want to say they either came out around the same time or a year. or
Definitely
so
within the
before.
same, yeah, like 12 to 24 months for
Yeah.
sure.
But the fact that we got a clip from the Mandalorian movie in production. I mean, basically, we were getting a movie quality show every week with each episode, and they were filming on a movie set. So it makes sense to finally cash in on the Disney Plus shows and bring it to the big screen and see like a finale of that time in Star Wars. So maybe after Toy Story, that's the most exciting movie. But I guess what's the Toy Story is more surprising to me because we knew about the Mandalorian movie in production.
Well, we knew Toy Story 5 was going to be a thing too. They announced it verbally some time ago. We just had no idea because and this is the thing too. I wanted to mention when we were talking about Toy Story that the end of Toy Story 4
It was open ended, but it could
not really.
It was closed off, but it could be.
No, but the thing
open-ended.
is like how is because in that little teaser image with the the kid with the iPad and you see the toys at the end of the bed, Woody's with them, but he leaves them at the end of Toy Story 4. How does he come back? Why is he back?
It's a different Woody.
Then that's
Remember,
terrible.
It's a
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be a different
multiverse.
Woody.
It's
gonna be-
basically a multiverse situation.
No, it's not. It's gonna be the.
I'm not saying it's a multiverse situation, but it might as well be one because it's like another Woody that they'll just pluck out of the store or something like that and say, "Hey, Woody's not
We
dead."
got you a collector's item.
Yeah.
There you go.
Woody's back as Doctor Doom. I don't
So
know.
yeah. Also, one more thing we forgot to mention was Snow White.
Finally showed some footage.
Yeah. So tell us, Johnny, what did you think of the footage?
I thought everything looked AI. AI produced. I don't know. The CGI looked terrible. The elves, the dwarves just don't look good at all, in my opinion. They look just everything like they're fully CGI. And apparently that's the case because Peter Dinklage, when the movie first got announced, he was making comments saying that it's like disrespectful to like
Little
little
people.
people being. But I would have thought this would have been a good showcase for their acting chops. But then Disney had to, they felt pressure to take a step back and make everything CGI like that. And I think the finished product doesn't look good at all.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
After watching the trailer, I'm just like, they look more like dwarves, like elfish almost.
But you ever play Mario Odyssey on the Switch?
Yes.
There's that one level where you're in the city and like Mario is the way he is, like he's proportioned as a human, but then he's like surrounded by like realistic looking humans.
Right.
It's like the reverse where like Rachel Zegler is like the one normal looking human amongst all these like cartoonish CGI elves. And it's like, I don't know, like what's the dynamic here?
Yeah, I agree. Also, you brought this up, but I was thinking about it. Her hair, man. What is up with that?
Her entire look, I don't want to blame her because I look at her
Costume department.
like her. All right, so let me say that maybe two things I like about this movie is
Go for it.
her singing voice. She's just like Halle Bailey in the live action
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. They both sound great when they sing. Great, they have Disney voices. And Gal Gadot as the main villain.
Magnificent.
Not Maleficent. That's Angelina Jolie.
Oh yeah. No, but that's the character's name.
Is that the same thing? I thought Maleficent was Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, you're right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it seems like
I screwed that one up.
Well, either way, she looked good, and Zegler sounds good, but she doesn't look good at all as Snow White. Like the hair looked
horrible.
The hair looked like Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
From Shrek.
And I don't know, the dress just looked like it's all candy colored, but everything around it looks
cartoony.
more pretty.
It's too cartoony.
Yeah, and she just I'm not like she's a pretty person, but she just doesn't look like, I don't know. She doesn't look the part in like the hair and the getup. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
something just doesn't seem right with like how they dressed her up.
No,
you know?
I agree.
So
it seems like these Disney live action movies have been hit or miss.
mostly miss. The only hit I could think of is maybe
Beauty and the-
I don't know.
Book. No, Beauty and the Beast was horrible.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I really enjoyed Beauty and the Beast. I really enjoyed Aladdin.
Aladdin was
we did Peter Pan.
Lion King is in the top 10.
No. Well, yeah, it's
A top 10 box office.
Box office, yeah, but that is I was disgusted with how they
We did the
handled
Peter
that.
Pan movie, a review for that when I came
Peter
out
and
last
Wendy.
yeah,
Yeah.
last year.
That one was okay.
But they,
You
that
know,
was,
just because that movie was okay because they did their own thing more with it.
Right.
They didn't try.
And
It
it was
wasn't like
Disney
Lion
Plus.
King where they like made it a carbon copy and then changed key scenes and like ruined the whole thing. But this just looks like another miss in my.
but
opinion.
wasn't Aladdin a big hit?
It was,
Aladdin
again-
I think Aladdin was great.
The box office versus like the reception is, I think, the big thing with these movies. Like the live action movies just don't hit, like review wise.
Right. They don't, yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
coming out of the theater saying like, "Hey, like that was just as good as the original."
Like
Because the original is classic.
Yeah.
And that's why.
and plus it had Will Smith playing the genie. And
That
one
was-
of the biggest stars of the,
That was awesome. I don't care what you guys say. I think
Yeah.
I think he did what Robin Williams did originally in the animated movie. I think he did that well in the live action.
I just watched an interview with Will Smith from a couple months ago, and they asked him what was your biggest box office movie, and he said Aladdin right away.
Yeah, no, the live action box office numbers with these movies, yeah, they're one thing. It's just like the legacy that they're shitting on constantly. Yeah, like I said, I'll never forget what they did with Lion King, and this movie just seems like another like I'll wait for it to be on Disney Plus before like after it's in theaters. You know,
So yeah.
sorry Disney fans or Snow White fans, but
Sorry.
no offense to Rachel Zegler either. I'm sure she's a
And-
great person. She just doesn't seem like she's fully fit into this universe that they plucked her into.
Look, these are our thoughts. Let us know in the comment section down below. Tell us what you guys think. What movie you feel is going to be your most important one out of this D23 spectacle. Let us know.